Hey, welcome in everybody. It's Laura here, and we are going to talk about the twin flame weekend energies. We do have a lot going on. Today on Saturday, we do have Venus in Taurus and in opposition to Lilith in Scorpio. And on Sunday, we've got two pretty significant transits at play. We do have Mars in Leo in that square to Uranus. It is exact. And we also have Jupiter in Cancer in a square to Saturn in Aries. And so this weekend, it's all about cosmic shakeups. There's going to be sacred power plays. And we're going to finally be anchored into a truth. And so three potent, transformational, major transits at play. Each one activating deep soul patterns, a karmic shift, and destined breakthroughs. And so I do feel the most significant shift this weekend, for me at least, personally, is the Mars-Uranus square and the Jupiter-Saturn square, because these are happening almost simultaneously, which is magnifying the impact tenfold is really what this feels like. And so I don't know how the rest of you have been feeling, but this feels like a cosmic pressure cooker, and physically I am feeling this energy. I am physically exhausted. I am drained. And so wherever there has been something suppressed is going to erupt. This truth is going to no longer be able to be denied. So let's break this down. We do have, like I said, that Venus opposition to Lilith. And so there is a theme being activated on Saturday connected to sacred sensuality versus that primal power. This really is that divine feminine reclamation energy that is bringing forward attention. It's bringing forward a tense shift between grounded love and fierce, unapologetic desires. And so it's going to reveal something hidden. There could be a hidden resentment around worthiness, intimacy, or autonomy. Lilith in Scorpio does not play nice. She is demanding that transformation, that honesty, and that liberation from shame. And so collectively, there is a shadowy feminine energy rising, and this is going to be connected to old beliefs about love and loyalty. That's going to be challenged. There is an awakening of repressed emotions around rejection, betrayal, and body sovereignty. And so there is a desire for deeper, raw, or emotional connection. And the twin flame aspects and impacts, I do feel this is where the divine feminine rises into her power and rejects anything that is connected to conditional love. This is how we embody that sacred sovereignty. Divine masculine is probably going to be triggered by the divine feminine's intensity, which is forcing that confrontation of control, possessiveness, and emotional suppression. So let's talk about the Mars in Leo square to Uranus in Taurus, because this is explosive truth. This can lead to an identity crisis or a rebellion against anything that's become stagnant. And so this is an electric, fiery meeting with grounded earth energy. And so there's going to be a sudden need for freedom, for expression, or radical change. And so Mars in Leo does want us to shine. It wants us to be seen authentically, while Uranus in Taurus is disrupting stability to spark that evolution. And I'm right in the middle of my Mars return. And this square is pretty much almost exact for me, which is why I've decided to do a podcast style weekend check-in today, because physically I am in a very powerful reset and I'm feeling it within my bones. And this is a reset of my desires, my divine will, and my life direction. And so with my natal Mars in Leo squaring Uranus, it really is forcing me to break free from all of these outdated roles. And so I'm resting, I'm rejuvenating, I'm recalibrating, and I am integrating all of the energies that came through during that grand fire trine of the Sagittarius full moon. And I am definitely on the verge of manifesting peace, but I am deeply resting at this time. And so honor your truth and let your fire lead, I feel, is a message we all need to hear. And so the collective impact is going to be restlessness, irritability, that desire, I want to say, to burn it all down. And there's going to be sudden breakups. There's going to be breakups. There's going to be breakthroughs. There's going to be directional pivots. And the masculine energy is being rewired. And so this is divine will versus divine disruption. And so divine feminine, you are definitely urged to step out of the supportive role and into self-expression. This is how we reclaim our inner flame, our inner fire. And divine masculine is probably in this energy of that inner rebellion brewing. And there's resistance to control that may spill out in anger or possibly detachment. And for the connection, you're probably in some type of separation. There could be a conflict that could also serve as a mirror to reveal something that's been suppressed, connected to truth. And with Jupiter recently ingressing into Cancer in that square to Saturn, it's been building. It's going to be exact on Sunday. This is the heart versus the hustle is what I felt. That expansion versus the boundaries. And the square is a very challenging aspect, asking us to balance our emotional growth with practical limitations. And so Jupiter in Cancer craves that nourishment, that family, that connection. And while Saturn is in Aries, it wants that self-leadership, that independence, and those clear goals. And so there's going to likely feel like emotional overwhelm, meeting some very hard choices. And so there's this pressure to mature emotionally and spiritually. Family, home, and inner child themes are definitely on the rise this weekend, especially where healing is long overdue. And so divine feminine is probably really learning to hold that emotional space this weekend without sacrificing self-worth or boundaries. And the divine masculine is probably in the thick of it, confronting those father wounds or any avoidance patterns, along with some commitment fears. And so this is the testing energy, the testing, the foundation of the union, where we are building on soul, not fantasy. And so breath work, I want to say some integration tips would be breath work, really focus on breath work, mindful movement, and some grounding rituals, and really do your best to avoid impulsive decisions. Take a pause before acting. Reconnect with your why, right? Anchor into your purpose amidst all of this collective chaos, because divine feminine, this is the portal where you are being asked to embody your full emotional range without apology. Spend some time journaling. I've been doing a lot of writing, a lot of journaling. Ask yourself where you have abandoned yourself just to be connected to somebody, because there's a lot of sacral chakra healing in order to reclaim back your power this weekend, okay? Divine masculine, channel that restlessness into some type of physical activity. Find that creative fire. Ask yourself, where are you rebelling just because you feel trapped? Because when you practice active listening and non-defensive communication, you can get yourself out of that mental loop. And as for the connection as a whole, I do feel this is a major recalibration weekend where there's going to be disruptions, clearing the path, connected to all of these false foundations. And you're going to want to trust in divine timing, because we are never here to chase, right? Do not chase, do not control. The outcome is already set in stone. And so meditate on the heart, meditate with the solar plexus chakra, and create that balance, because we're kind of in the weekend energy, I want to say, of soul surgery, and it's not going to be very comfortable, but it's going to be necessary. And so whatever is erupting, it's not to destroy, but it is to liberate you so you can align with that truth. And Mars and Uranus is here to break you free from some old cages, and Jupiter and Saturn is here to help you build something real. Venus and Lilith is reminding you that love doesn't mean dimming your fire, dimming your light. And so we are all being called this weekend to embody our power and our passion fully. This is not about validation. This is about rising, right? The soul has waited many lifetimes for this moment, for this rise. And so allow yourself to claim back your fire, to claim back your power, and to claim back your passion fully.